So here we are down here at Urban Artifact today, taking a look at a few beers. Taking a flight of Nitro Fin, which is the Berliner Pale Ale. Comes in at a 5.4% ABV. Taking a look at number 2, which is the Nitro Kodiak Tart Brown. Comes in at a 5.7% ABV. And then third and fourth, we have the Hero, which is their Ghost. That comes in at 4.3% ABV. And the Key Punch will be the last of the four, which comes in at 4.3% as well, and that's actually a key lime Ghost. So first look will be the Nitro Fin. Got a nice tart, sour aroma coming off the beer. As far as the appearance, nice cloudiness. You're not going to be able to see all the way through, so no clarity, but it's got a great orange appearance, kind of a sunset orange as far as the taste. The taste brings a good sour puckering effect, kind of reminiscent of kind of like a candy type flavor, not much towards as much of a sweet tart, but kind of along those lines. As far as hoppiness, there's not much hoppiness with it. A lot of these beers will not have that hoppiness, as the focus is more on the flavoring of that sour taste. As you would expect, kind of that malt forward. A nice candy beer. As you can see on the glass, leaves some nice lacing, let you know how well it's actually been prepared. The head itself, as it poured out, because these are tasters, wasn't as much of the head, but if I had this in a pint glass, I would expect it to probably be about under a finger head. As far as the finish, is nice and crisp. As far as the texture is clean. Texture is a little bit, I would consider watery, but not overly watery, but we do have a little bit of that, so it is a little bit more wet there, not as dry as I usually like, but what I'm expecting for these kind of beers, it holds very well. So again, this is the Nitro Fin Berliner Pale Ale, definitely worth a try. Again, 5.4% ABV, makes it a nice beer you can do a session about. Not going to get you too hammered. You can probably have a few of these and be okay. Cheers. So here we are looking at the second beer from the flight. This is the Kodiak. It is the Nitro Kodiak, which comes in at that 5.7% ABV. Right. Taking a first look at appearance again. It's got a nice brownness to it. A little bit of a reddish tint in there. And you get a little bit, you can see through a little bit of the clarity. Not as cloudy as the first one that we had. So got a nice little head on it there. For it being a taster size, you're looking at a smaller type head, but you can see that some of the window lacing, the glass lacing that takes place as you move it around shows a nice quality of the beer there. As far as aroma, nice, robust chocolate, cocoa, almost a burnt roast. Reminds me of coffee in the morning. Really nice, robust flavor. As far as the taste, wow, that's really good. Just a mouthful of sours, kind of like an explosion that takes place, that tartness. Real crisp on the finish. Finish is real nice, clean aspect to it. The body, medium texture, medium body rather. The texture itself has a nice creaminess to it. Takes a little bit of the alcohol, but not much. Hardly any of the astringency is there. Very light on astringency. You can see on the glass some of the lacing that takes place there. Really put together well beer. Overall so far, I've only had two, but this is clearly to my liking already as far as versus the other one. But if you want that robust type feel, you want that chocolate, that cocoa, and have a little bit of that sour taste, this is definitely the one to go with. Very nice indeed. Well worth it. Again, this is the Nitro Kodiak, and this is the Tart Brown, 5.7% ABV. Again, for the ones that like that dark taste, they want to get into chocolate, the cocoa, the robust flavor, this is definitely the one to take a look at. Cheers. So people add flavor to the beers when they come in. Yeah, so basically it's what people like to do is get a flight and drink halfway through and experiment with different syrups, or if anybody comes in and it's a little too tart, they like to add the raspberry, or if people really like the hop syrup, kind of cut that tartness a little and add kind of a sweetness to it. But people really enjoy experimenting though. It's really cool because people are like, I created a new beer, and they're so excited, and they'll get another one to experiment again. So it's really neat. It gives someone at the bar something to do with their beer, which in most places, what you get is what you get. So now we're going to take a look at the Harrow, which is actually the Ghost edition. This is actually 4.3% ABV. Okay. Take a look at that. On the appearance, we've already had the head dissipate a little bit, so not much of the head is left already. See, trying to shake it up a little bit, not really hanging, but you don't expect a lot of the lacing usually with a lighter type beer like this. As far as the clarity, again, we have that cloudiness from the way that it was made. You're not seeing anything through to the other side. I can say barely breaking through, kind of a light fog on the appearance there. As far as the aroma, actually brings a nice tartness. It's almost like smelling a ginger ale. Almost like a ginger ale with candy, kind of like those cherry type ginger ales you see at the store. A nice tartness as you would expect. So, taste. There actually are two people sitting there. They're upstairs. Wow. That's a bartender's sister and brother-in-law. This one actually brings a different taste than it did from the first one. This one brings a nice sour tartness to it, to the point that it's almost like drinking a soda, a cherry 7-Up, as I described earlier. As far as the smell, it seems to do the same thing in the taste. Luckily at 4.3%, you can drink a lot of these and not be affected, but this can actually go down pretty easily. Wasn't planted for this to taste as good as it actually does. As far as the body, it's a light body. The texture is actually very nice. Considering it's light, it's not too watery, holds together very well. Crisp on the finish. Definitely one I would also recommend as to try to taste. This one versus the first one I had, which was a Nitro Fin, the Pale Ale. That one, totally a different way of the sours and how the sours plays into this one, the Harrow. So, would I recommend this one? I have to say, hell yes. This is actually a pleasant surprise. Again, this is the Harrow at 4.3%. Nice, light body, relaxing beer. You can easily use it as a session beer. Kick back, sit on the back deck, enjoy a cigar, have it as a light thing. I think you'll be pleased. So here we are with the fourth one from the recently flight that we had just done. This one is the Key Punch, was just a key lime ghost. Take a look at that one. It's got a nice golden glow to it, kind of a orange yellow sunrise coming up over the mountains type look, I guess you could say. It's very distinctive. Has somewhat 50% clarity that you can see through there. Real pretty beer. The difference between this one and a Harrow probably will be, for one, this one is a ghost, but this is a key lime ghost, so we're expecting to have more of that key lime type flavor. Again, this one comes in at 4.3 ABV, so it is going to be a little bit lighter. Hence, you're not getting a lot of the head that's really sustaining on the glass. As far as the aroma, much like the other ghost, it gets that ginger ale type flavor, but you do sense the key lime portion coming out. The lime is really strong in the aroma. Seems like it's going to add a nice little flavor, maybe kind of a lime Sprite type versus the ginger ale type. Wow. The initial taste of it, you have a great bursting of the flavor, almost an explosion that takes place in the mouth. The mouthfeel on this one has probably been one of the better ones out of the first four, only up there with the Nitro Kodiak. It's just a burst of flavors that you get that takes place, a light body. Texture is not too watery versus the other one, but it holds itself together very well. It has a nice crisp finish. It's got somewhat of a little bit of creaminess to it. Very good overall. Not much to really say more about this one except that it's pretty good and damn good, to tell you the truth. I like it a little bit better than I do the Harrow. What they've done with that key lime has actually made this one even more tastier, in my opinion, and one that I would definitely recommend someone that wants to try, that wants to have a beer that is going to be not as heavy, a nice light beer they can have for sessions. Also, it does come with a little bit more of the astringency, which is fine, but it's almost like you're finishing a beer having a piece of candy, like a now and later, where you have that astringency that makes you want to pucker your lips a little bit. Good beer. Once again, another pleasant surprise, and this is the Key Punch, the Key Lime Ghost. Again, 4.3% ABV. Check it out if you get a chance, and again, another one fine one from Urban Artifact.
So
cheers.
Here we have our clothesline. It's a farmhouse rye. You have some rustic flavors, clove flavors. If you're familiar with the Saison, some similar spices, but it is made with wild yeast, so it gives it a little extra tasty, funky quality to it. Here, this is our Axle. It's our bourbon barrel aged red IPA. Really tasty. It has that bitterness of the IPA with that smooth bourbon taste to it. That's our strongest beer right now with 7.2 ABV. But just really solid beer all around.
All right, so here we are again, taking a look at this time at the clothesline. That one has a nice sunset glow to it. Clarity, it's got the cloudy haze, but can see through it a little bit. Probably the clarity, I'm gonna say, the cloudiness is probably about 80%. You get a little bit of a see-through, but not very much. Really pretty color on it. It is actually the farmhouse rye Saison, and it comes in at 5.9% ABV. As far as the aroma, nice dose of that rye. It's got a sourness in the smell. Very, wow, real like a pungent type sourness. The appearance on the head is already kind of fading down on it. As far as the taste, it's got a unique sour flavoring. almost reminiscent of a sour milk.
Is that the yeast?
But it's got the great ryeness that kind of cuts into it as well. It's a very funky flavor. Something definitely a little bit different, something a little more unexpected, but the unique would be the kind of the best word to describe it. The body of it, it's not too heavy, kind of a medium body beer. As far as the texture on it has a nice creaminess, nice crispness to it, not watery at all. It's got somewhat of a light astringency to it to match with the sours, but definitely a unique, funky blend that they have here for the farmhouse saison. Definitely one worth trying. See if, how you may feel about it, what you may like about it, and nothing really much else to say. Cheers. So here we are doing the last of the series available. This is the Axle from Urban Artifact, and actually this one is a one-off, so it's not released on a regular basis. It's just when they create it. This one is actually their bourbon barrel red IPA. So this one's going to hopefully stand out a little bit more. You can also consider it an American wild ale. You look at the appearance of it, and this is actually getting down towards more the bottom of the barrel, so it's going to have a lot more cloudiness. You're having a little bit more yeast action taking place, but that yeast action is nothing more than extra vitamin D, so nothing that would actually affect or harm you in any way. In fact, people pay good money to get vitamin D shots, so there you go. The look on this one, this is actually coming across as a caramel brown. Now, I'm not sure if it's always this color because of some of the yeast that's involved, but it is kind of that caramel molasses type color in that regard. Not much of the head. What is there does look like it may lace a little bit, but nothing to stand out on this size right now. As far as the aroma, on the aroma, I'm actually getting that tartness. Almost a cherry kind of tartness. Again, almost like a sweet tart type flavor with this one that comes out. As far as the taste, wow. The taste is, well, one on the taste is chewy. It's what you would kind of expect to have maybe in this type of a red IPA. It's heavier at the 7.2%. It's got a nice creaminess though as well with the texture. But as far as the flavor, not getting much of any, with what you would usually expect in an IPA of citrus type hops, but am getting some of the tartness that kind of replaces some of that citrus. The crispness on the end makes a nice finish, has a great mouthfeel, really bursts when you take that taste. All the flavors seem to really come out with this beer. Very, very unique in the way this one was put together. Unfortunately, like I said, it's not one I'll have year round, but if you do have the opportunity to taste this one, I would highly recommend it if you're an IPA lover. The hoppiness is there. You got a little bit of a bitterness. I'm not sure what the IBUs are on this one, but I'm going to probably think it's around maybe 50 to 60. The hoppiness is in play, but it's not too heavy of the astringency, and the good thing about it, you're not tasting a lot of the alcohol as well. So at 7.2%, this is one of those beers that could get you into a little bit of trouble. But definitely worth the one. Glad to cap it off with this one. And like I said, if you get a chance, check it out. It's a pretty good beer. Cheers.